everybody, and welcome to the final Sales Copyright and Content Marketing Hacks podcast episode ever for 2022. So we never really throw in dates for the podcast episodes because that's a mistake. But this is podcast episode 144.
Yes.
And so this is exciting because we are heading into 2022. And 2022 is a multiple of 144. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah, it's not a complete multiple, but you can divide 144 by 22, so it is a multiple.
It doesn't quite go together, but yeah.
It doesn't have to. It can do whatever it wants, man.
There's some decimals afterwards.
That's fine. So, Stu.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
Well, it's a new year. New you.
It's not a new year yet, dude. It's the end of the year.
Yeah, end of the year, focusing on a new year.
Uh-huh.
New you, resolutions. Trying to think of some dumb cliches that I hate every new year. Because no one knows the word resolution after about January 20th.
Right.
It just doesn't exist in our lexicon anymore, right? For some reason, it lasts about 2 weeks. So let's set some good goals and establish a winning mindset. I'm really just getting things done.
I think that's great.
And I think you have to ask yourself this, Jim.
Yes.
I wrote this article.
Yeah.
Applies a lot to my guys doing, what they want to do in their life, but it really applies to just about anything.
Yeah.
No matter what your goal is. And the question I ask everybody listening is, how bad do you really want it?
Ooh.
Right? And then my answer is, you might not want it bad enough if. And I go through a series of ifs. Do you want to hear them?
Yes. Can I give everybody a really good tip on purchasing fitness equipment, though, real quick?
Oh, sure.
Okay. If you want to pay maximum money for fitness equipment, buy something in the next 2 weeks.
Ooh, yeah.
If you want to pay minimal amount for fitness equipment that's been barely used, it's like the old joke about from Vietnam, here's an Arvin rifle, never only dropped once, never fired, only dropped once. If you want a lightly used treadmill or elliptical or any other piece of fitness equipment, maybe used once or twice and then lightly used as a clothing hanger, start picking that stuff up in March off of Craigslist. That's the time to get it, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting me a new exercise bike in March.
Smart.
I'm not getting it next week. So
Definitely
there you go. All right. So I just wanted to share that little bit of purchasing advice. And so I would love to hear, what are the ideas or what are the things to know if you don't want it badly enough?
You may not want it bad enough if the pain of long days and nights and dread of hard work and constant discomfort and stress convince you to decide on a change of direction in your career choice.
Okay.
So there are long days, there's long nights.
Yeah.
And it's hard work.
Okay.
As long as you realize that, you can bring your A game to that day or week or month and change your life.
Okay. All right. What else?
You might not want it bad enough if you keep getting distracted by things that are harming your focus.
Okay.
Right? That happens. Happens
Okay.
all the time. You might not want it bad enough if you cannot get started because you don't have all the things you need.
Okay.
Do more with less. Just get it done. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it done. You can perfect it later.
Okay.
You might not want it bad enough if you can talk yourself out of accomplishing a task required for success in your goal. this could be homework. It could be getting something done. It could be fitness, getting a workout in, putting in the extra time studying and doing required research. If you can get into your own head and distract yourself, you may not want it bad enough.
Okay. What else?
Let's see. You may not want it bad enough if someone else can talk you out of it. Negative feedback from people in your life can either be an obstacle that can deflate you completely, or fuel your, or be the fuel that inspires you to prove them wrong.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite motivators, is proving people wrong.
Absolutely.
Man,
What else?
People telling me you can't make a living doing fitness stuff. It's like, all right, I don't know what rock you live under, but I'm going to make it happen. All right. And then you may not want it bad enough if subtle comments make you doubt your journey. These are the harsh ones. You know, sometimes the passive aggressive comment that comes out about what you're doing. Yeah, I won't ever forget. I was going through SEAL training, and it was probably, through the harder parts of it. And they were still trying to get people to quit, but they knew they couldn't make you quit by beating you physically. So they started getting into your head, and they would say things like, "So, Smith, got a girlfriend?" Yeah, I used to have a girlfriend. Used to have a wife. Spent 18 months out of the last 2 years deployed, and I came back and all my stuff was gone. They just make you really think deep about, do I really want to go down this journey?
Right.
And I know that was a mind game, but it doesn't have to be that type of setup. But just,
So you stayed with Denise all these years just to prove that one guy wrong?
I did. Right. 33 years. Yeah. So
D nice.
Yeah, D nice.
All right. What else?
Another one is you might not want it bad enough if you're doubting your abilities when you fail something for the first time. When you fail at something. This is a big one. I can't tell you how many times I screwed something up in this journey, but I figured it out. Figured out how to work around it and get something to work. Yeah, I know you do this all the time. How many times have you screwed up that whiteboard that you're writing on?
Yeah, but that's just one way not to do it. Screw it. I ain't worried about that. I'm gonna figure out how to make this thing work.
Yeah, exactly.
The lighting sucks. The picture looks like shit. Okay, bye. Oh, excuse my French. The picture does not look optimal. Well, let's start doing stuff and see. Okay, that looks worse. Let's make it look as bad as it can look so we can start making it look better. I mean, I never look at anything as fail. The only time I fail is when I don't try, when I don't give it a real try. And a real try doesn't mean doing it once. It means it's beating your head against the wall for a week or a month. That's a real try.
Yep. Absolutely. Like, I'm going to fix this camera today.
Yeah, go on YouTube. I guarantee, go to YouTube, put in the camera name and autofocus fix or adjust autofix, and you'll have it fixed in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Then come out with an info product on it and sell it.
Damn.
All right.
What else? So here's the biggest thing. Here's the reason why a lot of this, doesn't work for people. Is in the end, it has to be a passion, right? And that is so important. There is a fire that can help you when you need it the most, and that is really a passion. Is how bad do you want it is also known as passion. So it could be the driving force that allows you to perform a task at your best and on time while exceeding the standards you set for yourself.
Yep. Okay.
That is passion.
So let me feed this back to you in my own in my own thing. If we were talking about online business, if we're talking about copywriting, if we're talking about creating a book, if it's creating a course, if it's doing anything that we want to do, getting in shape, staying in shape, getting back in shape, having a great relationship, any of this stuff, okay? You don't want the long-term goal badly enough if it's not a passion with a strong why. If you don't have a strong why behind it, you are screwed before you even get started. That's number one to me as well. If there's no strong why, you're going to quit. If there is a strong why, you will literally walk through fire if the why is strong enough, and never quit if the why is strong enough. You will never quit if the why is strong enough. I remember when I got fired from my job and I started working for myself full time, but I also had a part-time job, which meant that I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, working until noon. I would then go work for the lady at the real estate company from 1 to 5, and then come home and I would work until 10 at night. But I had such a strong why, and there was one other thing I did. And you talk about combining that with somebody talking smack about you. The guy who fired me, I put a picture of Terry and a picture of him next to each other above my monitor. And whenever I wanted to quit, I would look up there and I would think to myself, who am I choosing? Her or his opinion of me? And let me tell you what, man, I burned it up. Now, I should have thrown in some physical training in there too, because I really went to crap. Okay. But live and learn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want the long-term goal badly enough if a short-term pain will stop you. You don't want to get in shape bad enough if you're like, well, my knee hurts, so I can't walk anymore. My shoulder hurts, so I can't do anything. Well, then do what you can do until that gets better, get stronger, work on flexibility, do something every single freaking day. But if you'll let a short-term pain stop you, then you sure don't want it, because nothing worth having is going to be had without at least some short-term pain. You don't want that long-term goal badly enough if bright, shiny objects can distract you from what you say you really want and what you're going to do. If a bright, shiny object can take you off purpose like that, you know you want something when you feel it in your gut. Like when I'm like a pit bull with something in my jaw, and the family knows, Susan knows, everybody knows, Dexter knows, everybody knows, oh God, Jim's got his teeth into that, and we're not, it's not going to be over until he is done. And I literally can think about something and I feel it right here. Right here, when I think about something that's like, man, I go to bed thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. When I'm doing my walks, when I'm exercising, whatever I'm thinking about, I think about it all the time. It becomes, for me, it becomes not just a passion, but an obsession. That's when you want it bad enough. It's an obsession. It's not just a passion. Okay? You don't want yet long-term goal badly enough if you're waiting for perfect circumstances or resources to come up. I'll tell you, I used to tell this story, but then I stopped. When everybody thinks to make an online business, you got to have all this stuff. I made $400,000 with a single credit card that had a $300 spending limit on it, because I had declared bankruptcy and couldn't get a credit card. So I had a $300 prepaid credit card. I gave them $300 and they gave me $300 worth of credit. That was my credit card. So everybody's like running off, going into debt, buying this, buying that, getting this software, getting this server, getting this thing, getting this, that. I'm like, I can't do that. I have to literally figure out how to make this happen with no money. And then finally, when, we needed it, I got my father-in-law to basically give me his American Express with a $15,000 limit to be able to turn over the inventory we needed to do when we were doing CDs and DVDs. And at that point, I could get any credit card I needed or wanted on principle, but then I didn't need it, so I didn't go get it. Now, a credit card bill for me in a month is more than I declared bankruptcy over, the total amount. That's a good credit card bill, and pay it off. But the thing is, if I'd have waited until I had credit to be able to get the stuff, I never would have done what I needed to do. And then what I did was I learned it's not about having credit. It's not about having the ability to go get inventory and all this other stuff. It's all about getting customers. That's it. If you have customers, people will line up to give you access to what you need to make stuff happen. You don't want that long-term goal badly enough if you keep justifying not doing what needs doing. And you will have people in your life who will tell you, oh, honey, you're not that fat. No, you're fat. Oh, honey, you're not. Your pants aren't that tight. No, they're tight. You look stupid. Oh, honey, you don't have to stay up late tonight working on that ebook. You can do it tomorrow. No, you do need to stay up and get that crap done. You do need to stick with your goal. You do need to stick with your timeline. You do need to get up at 4 a.m. and make it happen. People that love you will tell you it's okay. And in a lot of cases, the person that you hate who's telling you, who's talking smack, it's easier to blow them off than the people who love you, who give you permission not to reach your goal because they don't want to see you hurt yourself, get upset, get dinged up, or they're giving you permission not to go after your goal because they're scared you're going to grow, outgrow them, and not need them anymore. So they're going to masquerade the you shouldn't do it with the you don't have to do it. And I'm just telling you that because I love you. And they're not nefarious, but that the end result's the exact same thing. If you listen to either one of them, you ain't going to do the stuff you need to do, and you're going to end up homeless behind a dumpster selling your kidney to make money to pay off your student loans because that moratorium on the payments is not going to last forever. You fail at one thing and want to quit totally. Oh, well, I made a Facebook Live and people it didn't go good. I did the Facebook Live and forgot to turn on my microphone and now everybody thinks I'm an idiot. No, nobody saw your video, Chuckles. Nobody cares. In fact, it'll make a great story someday once you're a YouTube star. You know, it's funny. The first video I ever did, I forgot to turn on the microphone. Isn't that funny? Ha, 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 ha. Look at me now. You know, I used to be the fat guy in the red Hawaiian shirt. That was who I used to be, but it doesn't define who I am. You can't let a single failure define you, especially when it comes to the goals that are super, super important to you. Others can talk you out of it or distract you. Here's the thing. At my house, we have the work period. The work period is from whenever the heck I say it starts to whenever the heck I say it's done. Now, typically, for consistency's sake, the work period goes from about 5 a.m. to when I'm doing my thing till about lunchtime. Then we have lunch, and then the work period goes from 1 o'clock until about 5, and then I'm done. All right, that's the work period. In order for me to have an inviolable work period, you got to let them know when there ain't a work period. Because to get them to leave you alone, they got to know that after this time, yes, grandpa's available, Jim's available to do stuff. But you have to train yourself and the people in your life that this is the friggin' work period. I can't do that right now because I'm working, but it doesn't matter. If it won't take long, it won't take long now, it won't take long later. Does this need to be done today? Well, yes. Does it need to be done right this minute? Well, that means no. I'm working right now. And that's what you got to build up in your own self. All right. Talked about that. Small comments and doubts can make you quit. If a small comment and a small doubt, either from you or someone else, can make you quit, then you're a wuss. We're losing people. I'm sorry. I didn't mean, oh, well, you're a wussy. You're a wussy. If somebody can make one little comment that will be the little cancer that spreads to make you finally give it, damn it, I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
You're a wuss. Okay.
You didn't want it bad enough. You didn't want it bad enough.
Here's the way I've always looked at it. I love the summary of Stu's thing. Pay the price. There are two ideas that I have latched onto over my time on planet Earth. Number one is you're going to have to pay the price. Whatever it is that you want, there's a price to be paid. If you want to be in shape, then there's a price to be paid that every day as far as what you do and don't eat and what you do and don't do with your body. The price is not a one-time price. That price is paid every day. The other thing, whatever it is, if you want to have a successful online business, there's a price that you pay every single day. Because you can build a successful business and then destroy it. You can build a body that's in shape and then let it go. You can build a great marriage and then let it go. Whatever it is, you have to pay the price, but there's a price up front and then there's a price ongoing. It's like Stu talks about to, through, and after. If you want something, there's a price to be paid to get to it. There's a price to get paid to get through it. And there's a price that gets paid after to maintain it. Whatever that is. You got to know exactly what it is that you want and exactly what the price has got to be paid. Here's the other key thing that I have developed over my lifetime thinking. All right. 5 years. Maybe I'm a Chinese communist at heart. I don't know. They have their 5-year plan for everything. And I'm not a Chinese communist, all right? I'm very anti-communist, all right? Extremely anti-commie. If you're a commie, get off my list. I hate communists, all right? That's it. Don't like socialists either. Socialism is a cancer that leads to communism. That's not a political statement. That's a statement of fact. But here's the thing. Somewhere along the line, I think when I was little, when I was super, super sick, and almost died several times, had a form of cancer in my sinuses, and that'll get you right quick. Have a brush with death, and that will give you some perspective. 5 years is going to be here 5 years from now, whether I do anything or not. So if you look back 5 years ago, you are the sum total of your thoughts, deeds, actions, attitudes, relationships from 5 years ago is where you get what got you to where you are right now. So whether I pay the price or not, up front, during, after, 5 years is going to be here. I'll be 59 5 years from now. When I'm 59, will I have paid the price to take my business to the next level? To be like, holy crap, like people know about Jim Edwards like everywhere. Or will I just have paid the price to kind of like keep things going along? But you can't just keep things going along. You're either growing or you're dying. It's like the line from Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. And so 5 years from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever that thing is, it's that time's a coming. And the older you get, does that time come faster or slower, Stu?
Much faster.
Much faster, which is great. Because if you know the price to pay and you commit to it, it's going to get here quick. It's like Christmas. It's going to, no matter how bad it hurts, it's going to be over. And you can get that sense of it'll be over. Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. But these are the two big things that have driven it for me. Be willing to pay the price, have a huge why, pay the price, and understand, have the big picture perspective of what you're doing and how it's going to impact. So that's a pretty damn good episode, Stu. And I, didn't even have a plan when we sat down.
No, I like that. I just wanted to finish the year with, just some mindset focus because, we know how to make content. We know how to, come up with ideas, and the work comes in getting it done, getting it distributed, making it happen, and watching your business grow. That's where the money's made, obviously. And there's a lot that goes into that. And how bad you want it is one of those things. So
Absolutely. How bad do you want it? A lot of people say they want it. Very few people want it that bad. And the last thing I will say is that the harder it is to do what you want to do, the more worthwhile it's worth doing, because that's something that fewer and fewer people will follow all the way through to the end. And so, if it's hard, then do it hard. And know that when you get there, it's not going to be real crowded. It's like Earl Nightingale talked about with one of his programs. I forget I used to know the name of it. I'm sure I will know the name of it, but he talks about the pyramid. The pyramid on the plains of Egypt. The pyramid is like people. All right. Loud at the bottom. It's narrower at the top. Why? Because it's harder to get to the top. But it's worth being at the top, because as the sun rises every day, the top is the first to get hit with the rays of the sun. And as the sun sets every day, it's the last part to go dark.
is it?
It is.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay. Anyway, so that's
Sorry.
it. That's it for the Jim and Stu Show, Sales, Copyright, and Content Marketing Hacks podcast for 2021. Even though 2021 almost feels like it's been an extension of 2019, this really does feel like this is a new year. This really does feel like the first new year in a couple of years.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? It's just a continuation.
I'm just gonna do the best I can. Darn it,
Okay.
make this happen. That's why I rearranged my room. I'm ready for something new. Do I think it's gonna happen? I don't know. In my world, it will.
Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. One of the best programs you could ever listen to, ever. Lead the Field. If you haven't listened to it, you need to. I have it on my phone. I'll listen to it when I'm walking. And The Strangest Secret. You need to listen to that. If you're going to give you a homework assignment, go listen to The Strangest Secret. Amazing. All right, Stu. Well, Happy New Year, brother. And everybody who's joined us, Happy New Year to you. And we will see you all next year on the Jim and Stu Show. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye, everybody.